while the last group of presenters tonight will show us how they transformed trash into furniture. Please welcome 6E Paco, Eunice, and Hayder.
Oh my God. Oh, there's a bench here. Let me take a seat. This bench is so comfortable. But it looks so different, which I sat in the benches from the past 12 years. The first time I sit on a bench, it was a family photo. We were having a family photo, and my dad and my mom and me on a bench in a park. So I'm sitting at the middle of a bench. So while the photographer was taking a photo, I peed. And then there's an auntie who came, and because since I laughed after I peed, an auntie saw me and he said, "Oh, you're so adorable." But then when she came, she smelled me. Let's just forget about it.
Don't you know that this is a new invention by a group of TSL Primary 6 students?
Yes, the 1060 FYP Group 1 students made it. They came to me to collect a lot of cardboards in the past few months. Do you two know that more than 817,000 tons of waste paper and cardboard are recycled every year? The situation in Hong Kong is very serious because the recycling companies are not helping. They're only willing to buy 1 kilogram of waste paper with 50 cents only.
So we have decided to make something useful out of wasted cardboard to help the environment. And this is our upcycling cardboard bench. We placed this comfortable bench outside our school library so that students can enjoy it. And ultimately, we want to raise the awareness of this environmental issue.
Oh, so it's recycling.
No. Recycling and upcycling are not the same thing. Upcycling is a type of transformation. It is the process of transforming waste into something useful. For example, if like in doctor, you have a sore throat, and the doctor said with a wooden stick, "Ah," and then you have to say, "Ah." Well, you can use the wooden sticks for something, like if you want to make something, why don't you make like a Barbie doll or something, right? You know what I mean? So it helps, actually, if you keep doing these stuff, it helps reduce the number of materials that could have ended up in the landfill.
Huh? I still don't understand.
In other words, recycling is to make a wasted item into a newer version of the same product. In contrast, upcycling is to use various different products to make something new and better than the original one.
Oh, so upcycling is something like an upgrade.
Yes. We came up with the idea of gluing up all the cardboards to make the body of our bench, but we don't know if it will work. So we made a prototype to test it out.
A prototype is a small model of our bench, which helps us to predict what difficulties will we encounter. We stepped on it to see if it's strong enough. Luckily, it was very strong and durable, so we started to make the real bench. And by the way, that's Tobias' feet.
So there are 4 main materials needed to make the bench: the cardboard, the broken chair frame, the old school banner simplicity, and last but not least, the glue. We have to stick them to be more environmentally friendly. But you know, sometimes in the world there are really unwanted materials, but we made good use of them because they're really lucky to be used, because they'll just ended up in the landfill and they'll get rotten.
To allow our schoolmates to sit on it, we have cut the cardboards into shape like a trapezium. We measured the size of the chair frame and cut the cardboards according to our measurements.
To make the glue, we reused leftover food into our environmentally friendly glue. We have found out 2 recipes, one with flour and the other one with rice. At last, we decided to use the rice glue because it's stickier and easier to make. Let's see the process.
As Hong Kong is a really humid environment, we are worried that the cardboards may absorb water easily like a camel and will become molded soon. Therefore, we asked Mr. Ho for an advice. At last, we used the old Simplicity school banner from last year to be the cover of our upcycling bench.
We have encountered numerous difficulties while making the bench. First of all, it took us so long to collect enough cardboard to fill the chair frame. Moreover, there's a gap between the two chair frames, so we had to try our best to make the bench as comfortable as possible.
Also, the cardboards were very difficult to cut since they are very hard. I still remember how sore my fingers were after cutting those cardboard. What's more, the cardboards were not always in the same size. I was cut by different people in our group, so we had to spend time trimming them.
On the other hand, the glue was another difficult challenge. We took a long time to search for a recipe for an environmentally friendly glue. The glue was sometimes too gooey or too watery. We tried many recipes and found out that two glues made with rice and flour were the best.
As we faced difficulties, we sought professional advice from Mr. Eric Swinton, one of the creators of V-Cycle, a company that promotes upcycling.
He gave us some tips. Even though at last we didn't launch all of his ideas, we have tested them out and still very grateful for him to give us those suggestions.
Interviewing an unknown person outside school is very nerve-wracking. Thanks to our group mates who have practiced a lot, the interview has gone very smoothly. Let's see the interview video.
Good morning, Mr. Swinton. I'm Hazel.
Good morning, Hazel. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Good morning. I'm Hazel's partner, Dawson.
Dawson. Nice to meet you, Dawson. Again, like I said, upcycling is important because we don't throw away valuable resources that we could use again, and again. We faced. What's the problem here? So this is loose, right?
A little bit loose.
Okay. So you want to find a way to
Make it stay properly.
stay properly. So I see that you have these strings wrapped around the chair. Why don't you consider putting holes through the cardboard and then you tie the string around that? You can try that, right?
So this is the end of this interview. Once again, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Apart from interviewing Mr. Swinton, we also interviewed many students for their opinions toward our bench. And it seems like they all like it.
It feels amazing looking back to all our hard work in the past 7 months, from designing the bench, cutting the cardboard, to making the glue, and interviewing Mr. Swinton, also doing multiple presentations. We are very proud of our work.
Although we are graduating really soon, we will leave this bench in our school campus for more students to try on. Or maybe like Mr. Young's fed up with his chair in his office and put this mini bench as his really new sofa, right?
Throughout this project, we've learned a lot, such as cooperation, time management, our responsibilities and duties, and of course, some knowledge about upcycling.
We also have transformed a lot during this project. We have argued less compared to the beginning. We also know more about the issues of our Earth. The Earth is everyone's. We should transform our home into a better place.
After our funny or boring explanation, I'm sure you all want to see the inside of the bench, right?
3, 2, 1.
Ta-da!
Before we finish this, again, boring or funny presentation, would anyone want to come up and have a seat on this bench?
Go.
Wow, you guys are really eager. But to be more respectful, how about inviting our guest of honor, Miss Natalie Chan?
many people wanted to. I didn't want to like take people's chances.
Wow, indeed.
Am I gonna fall?
No, of
No,
course
it's
not.
really stable.
Even I can sit
Miss
on it.
Chan, what do you think about our bench?
Wow, it holds me up. This is a real bench. I thought you were just sitting like this just now. I thought you were faking. But
No,
this
it's
is
not fake.
It's not fake?
It's really good.
Wow.
100% good.
I'm jealous I don't have one. I thought I would get one too.
It takes 1 year for this.
1 year?
Yeah, really.
All right.
Just 1 year.
I'll get it next year then. Next year?
You gotta be, generous, so we gotta give it to our schoolmates, right?
Oh, okay, fine.
Sorry about that.
But it is beautiful. This is what a chair. Thank you for having me sit on this.
Thank you. You're
Thank you
welcome.
very kind
You're welcome.
comments.
This is
The end of our FYP presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, 6E. Thank you, all schoolmates. All these plans they made, all the actions they took, all the transformation they attempted to achieve. Whether they are successful at the end, that's not the most important.
Most importantly, they worked for it together, and what they did is significant. They can make great positive impact, and they can change things beyond expectations.
We always take the caterpillar and the butterfly as the metaphor for transformation. One crucial thing we might miss is that for the cocoon to turn into a butterfly, if the cocoon is broken from outside, life ends. If it's broken from the inside, life begins. Life begins, wings stretched, beautiful butterfly. Great things always begin from the inside.
Don't forget the struggle too. Our P6 schoolmates have struggled through this project.
Beside our parents and our teachers, there are many others who have supported them along the journey.
Some of them accepted their interviews, some became their mentors. May we show our appreciation to all these organizations and individuals. Without their help, our schoolmates couldn't accomplish so much.
Dear Camõesians, what a phenomenal job you have done. You have made the transformation amongst yourselves. Please give a big hand to yourself.